I found a secret group chat on my fiancé's phone hinting at a deadly college cover-up. Was it cheating or something darker? From lies to a hit-and-run confession, this is the group chat that broke us. Buckle up. I'm losing my mind and need advice. I'm a mess, and I just need to get it all out. I, 32F, have been with my fiancé, 34M, let's call him Matt, for 8 years. We met through mutual friends after I moved to his city for work. He's this charming, quiet guy, tall, dark hair, the kind of person who makes you feel safe just by being around. We clicked instantly, and over the years, he's become my rock. We've lived together for 5, got engaged last summer, and we're planning a small wedding next fall. I thought I knew everything about him. Until 2 weeks ago. It started small. Matt's always been a light sleeper, so he keeps his phone on silent at night. But lately, I've noticed it lighting up more, vibrations buzzing through the mattress. I didn't think much of it at first. He's a freelance graphic designer, and clients can be needy. But one night, I woke up to him sitting on the edge of the bed, hunched over his phone, typing furiously. It was 3 a.m. I mumbled something like, "Everything okay?" And he jumped, like, full-on flinched, before saying, "Yeah, just work stuff," and shoving the phone under his pillow. I let it go that time. But the next morning, he was weird, distant. He barely looked at me over breakfast, just scrolled through his phone with this tight-lipped expression. I asked what was wrong, and he said he was stressed about a deadline. Plausible, sure. He's had crunch times before, but something felt off. Call it gut instinct. Last weekend, it escalated. We were binge-watching a show on the couch, and his phone was on the coffee table, face up. It buzzed, and a notification popped up from a group chat called The Old Crew. The preview said, "Dude, you have to tell her soon." My stomach dropped. He snatched the phone so fast I barely registered it, muttered something about spam, and went to the kitchen. I sat there, heart pounding, trying to act normal. Who was her? Me? Someone else? And why was he hiding it? I know I shouldn't have, but I couldn't stop myself. Later that night, when he was in the shower, I grabbed his phone. He's never been secretive about his passcode. It's our anniversary date, so I got in easily. The group chat was still there, buried under a few work threads. I scrolled fast, hands shaking. There were 5 people in it, including Matt. Names I didn't recognize: Jake, Corey, Tina, and Sarah. The messages were vague, but loaded. Jake, "It's been 10 years, man. You can't keep this up." Tina, "If she finds out from someone else, it'll be worse." Matt, I know. I just need time." Corey, "The pact was dumb anyway. We were kids." Sarah, "I still think about it every day." That's all I got before I heard the shower stop. I locked the phone and shoved it back, pretending to scroll on mine when he came out. But my brain was spinning. Who were these people? What pact? And why was Matt so freaked out about it? I've met his college buddies, the ones he still talks to, and none of them are named Jake, Corey, or Tina. Sarah's a common name, but I don't know any Sarahs in his life either. Since then, he's been acting stranger. He's taking calls outside, claiming they're clients, but I hear him whispering. Yesterday, he said he had to run an errand and was gone for 3 hours. He came back with nothing, no bags, no explanation, just said he got caught up. I asked where he went, and he snapped. Can I have 5 minutes to myself? Matt never snaps. Ever. I'm terrified he's cheating. 8 years, and I've never doubted him. He's not the type. He's loyal, sweet, the guy who plans surprise picnics and remembers my favorite coffee order. But this group chat, this secrecy, it's eating me alive. I keep picturing him sneaking off with some woman named Sarah, laughing about how clueless I am. Or maybe it's not an affair. Maybe it's something worse. Drugs? Debt? I don't know what's scarier. Here's where I need help. How do I bring this up without blowing everything up? I love him. I want to marry him. But I can't ignore this. I've thought about straight up asking, who's in that group chat? But if he lies, I'll know, and it'll break me. I've considered waiting it out, seeing if he slips up, but I'm not sleeping, barely eating. I even Googled how to tell if your partner's cheating, but all the signs, phone guarding, mood swings, fit, and it's making me sick. Update 1. I confronted him, and now I'm more confused than ever. Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for the responses to my last post. I read every comment. Seriously, you guys kept me sane this week. I was all over the place, oscillating between just ask him and dig deeper first. In the end, I couldn't wait. I confronted Matt last night, and it didn't go how I expected. I'm still shaking as I type this, and I need your help figuring out what's next. After my last post, I spent 2 days stewing. Matt's behavior didn't get better. He was still glued to his phone, taking it into the bathroom, even sleeping with it under his pillow. I tried acting normal, but I was a wreck. Thursday night, I hit my limit. He came home late from meeting a client. No proof of that, by the way, and I caught him texting in the hallway before he even took his shoes off. I couldn't take it anymore. I waited until we were in the living room. He was on the couch, scrolling, and I sat across from him in the armchair. My heart was hammering, but I kept my voice steady. "Matt," I said, "can we talk about something?" He looked up, eyebrows raised, and nodded. I took a deep breath and went for it. "Who's in the old crew group chat? I saw a notification the other night, and you've been weird about your phone lately." His face changed instantly. Not guilt, exactly, more like panic. His eyes widened, and he sat up straighter, gripping his phone tighter. "What do you mean, weird?" he asked, dodging the question. I pressed. "You're on it all the time, hiding it, jumping when I get near." "Who are they, Matt?" "I don't know those names. Jake, Tina, Corey, Sarah. Are they work friends? Old friends? What's going on?" He stared at me for a long second, then laughed, a short, forced sound. "Ella, it's nothing. Just some college buddies I reconnected with. We've been catching up. Why are you freaking out about this?" His tone was light, but his jaw was tight, and he wouldn't meet my eyes. I pushed harder. "If it's nothing, why are you so secretive? And what's this tell her soon stuff about?" "Tell who?" "Me." That's when he got defensive. He stood up, pacing a little, and said, "You're reading too much into it. It's just dumb group chat nonsense. You know how guys are, joking around, exaggerating. I didn't tell you because it's not a big deal." I wasn't buying it. "Then let me see it," I said, holding out my hand. "If it's no big deal, show me." He froze. Like, full-on deer in headlights froze. Then he said, "I'm not giving you my phone, Ella. That's ridiculous. Don't you trust me?" It stung. He flipped it on me so fast. I shot back. "I did, until you started acting like this. You're hiding something, and it's killing me. Just be honest." He sighed, rubbing his face, and sat back down. "Okay, fine," he said. "It's old college friends. We've been talking about stuff from back then. Nothing you'd care about. I didn't want to bore you with it." I asked why he was so jumpy. Then, and he mumbled, "I don't know. I just didn't want you thinking I was stuck in the past or something." It was flimsy, but he stuck to it. I asked about Sarah specifically, why her name stood out in the chat, and he said, "She's just one of the group. No one special." I didn't know what to say. Part of me wanted to believe him, but it felt rehearsed, like he'd prepared that answer. I told him I needed time to think, and he nodded, looking relieved. He went to bed, and I stayed up, replaying it in my head. Here's where I'm at. He didn't deny the chat, which I guess is good, but his explanation was vague as hell. He wouldn't show me the phone, which screams red flags. If it's nothing, why not prove it? He's still acting off. This morning, he was overly nice, made me coffee, kissed my forehead, but then left for work with his phone in his pocket like it was glued there. I don't know if he's cheating or hiding something else. A few of you suggested tracking him or checking his phone again, and I'm tempted. Last night, after he fell asleep, I almost tried, but he'd changed his passcode. That's new. He's never done that in 8 years. I feel like I'm losing him, and I don't know why. Update 2. I dug deeper, and it's worse than I thought. I'm back, and I'm shaking as I write this. Thanks for all the advice last time. It gave me the push I needed to keep going. I didn't want to snoop, but after Matt's half answers, I had to know more. What I found has me spiraling, and I don't know what to think. This is long, so bear with me. I need to get it all out. After our confrontation, Matt acted like everything was fine. He was sweet, attentive, even planned a dinner date last night. But his phone habits didn't change. If anything, he got sneakier, taking it everywhere, tilting the screen away when I walked by. I decided to take your advice and dig. I couldn't get into his phone, new passcode still, so I started small. First, I checked our shared laptop. Matt's not big on social media, but he's logged into Messenger there. I opened it, feeling guilty, and scrolled his recent chats. Nothing from Jake, Corey, Tina, or Sarah. No old crew group either. But there was a message from an old friend, Ryan, from 2 weeks ago. "Hey, man, you okay? Tina said you're freaking out about the reunion thing." Matt replied, "Yeah, just old ghosts. Don't worry." "Reunion? What reunion?" He's never mentioned one. That lit a fire under me. I Googled his college, University of Michigan, class of 2013, and reunion. Nothing official popped up, but I found a public X post from A at Tina Marie 88. 10 years since you Mitch crew fell apart. Thinking of you, Sarah. Posted 3 weeks ago. The timing lined up with Matt's weirdness. I clicked Tina's profile, locked, but her bio said, an Arbor Alum. It's a lead, right? Next, I went full detective. Matt keeps a box of college stuff in our storage closet. Photos, yearbooks, random junk. I hadn't looked at it in years, but I dragged it out yesterday while he was at work. Inside, I found a 2013 yearbook and flipped to his class. There he was, smiling, same goofy haircut. I scanned for Jake, Corey, Tina, Sarah, bingo. Jacob, Jake, Larson, Corey Patel, Tina Marie Esposito. and Sarah Elizabeth Klein, all in his graduating class. Photos showed them together at events, Matt with his arm around Sarah in one, grinning like idiots. They were close. Why's he never mentioned them? Then I found a folded note, tucked in the back. It was handwritten, faded. Matt, we swore we'd never tell. It's our burden. Love S. My stomach twisted. Sarah? A burden? What the hell happened? I took pictures of everything and put it back. Heart racing. Last night, over dinner, I tested him. Casual like, I said, "Hey, whatever happened to your old college friends? Like Jake or Tina?" He choked on his wine, literally coughed for a solid minute. When he recovered, he said, we lost touch after graduation." "What?" I shrugged, just curious. "You never talk about them." He changed the subject fast, asking about my day. "This morning, I went nuclear. A few of you suggested tracking apps, and I caved. We share a phone plan, so I logged into our carrier's site and checked his call logs. He's been calling the same number, Michigan area code, every other day for a month. Texts too, dozens of them. I reverse searched it, unlisted, but tied to Ann Arbor. Then I checked his location history. We have it on for emergencies. Yesterday's work trip? He drove 20 miles out of town to a random park, stayed an hour, and came back. No client office there, just trees and a parking lot. I'm freaking out. This isn't just cheating vibes anymore. It's something bigger. A pact? A burden? Sarah's, I think about it every day from the chat haunts me. Did something happen in college? An accident? A crime? I love Matt, but I don't know who he is right now. Update 3. I found an old friend, and the truth is worse than cheating. I'm back, and I don't even know where to start. Thanks for all the support last time. Comments gave me the guts to keep pushing, even when I wanted to curl up and cry. I've uncovered more, and it's not what I expected. It's not an affair. It's worse. I'm still processing, and I need your help figuring out what to do next. This is long, sorry, but it's a lot. After my last update, I was a wreck. The yearbook, the note, the mystery number, it was all pointing to something big Matt's been hiding. I couldn't confront him again without solid proof. He'd just dodged like last time. So I took a risk. I reached out to Ryan, the guy from Matt's messenger chat who mentioned Tina and a reunion thing. Ryan's the only college friend of Matt's I've met in person. He came to our place for a barbecue 3 years ago, seemed nice enough, quiet, a little nerdy, works in IT now. I had his number from back then, so Friday morning, I texted him. "Hey, Ryan, it's Ella, Matt's fiancé. Been a while? How are you holding up?" He replied fast. "Ella, wow, good to hear from you." "I'm good. Thanks, how's Matt?" I kept it casual. "He's okay, just busy. Actually, he's been talking about old college friends lately. Jake, Tina, Corey. You know them?" I held my breath. Ryan texted back. "Oh yeah, the UMich crew. Haven't thought about them in ages. They still in touch with Matt." Bingo. I had a thread to pull. I called him. Couldn't risk texting this part. I needed to hear his voice. He picked up, surprised but friendly. I played it cool. "Yeah, Matt's been weirdly nostalgic lately. Mentioned a group chat with them. Even something about a pact. Any idea what that's about?" There was a long pause. Too long. Then Ryan said, "Oh wow, he's talking about that?" I didn't think he'd ever bring it up. My heart sank. "Bring what up?" I asked. He hesitated, then said, "Look, Ella, it's not my story to tell. But if Matt's opening that box, you should ask him about Sarah Klein. It's complicated." I pressed. "Ryan, please. He's shutting me out, and I'm scared. What happened with Sarah?" Another pause, then a sigh. "Okay, but don't tell him I said this. Senior year, something went down. Sarah died. It messed us all up, but Matt and the others, they took it hardest. There was this thing they swore to keep quiet. I wasn't in on it, just heard rumors. Ask him about the hit and run." I nearly dropped the phone. "Hit and run?" I whispered. Ryan backtracked. "I don't know details, Ella. I wasn't there. Just talk to him. He's a good guy, but he's carried this a long time." We hung up after that, and I sat there, numb. Sarah's dead? A hit and run? What the hell did Matt do? I couldn't stop. I Googled Sarah Klein Hit and Run University of Michigan 2013. Nothing direct. Privacy laws, maybe. But I found an archived Ann Arbor news article. Local student, 22, killed in late-night crash. Driver flees scene. May 12, 2013. Sarah Elizabeth Klein, UMich Sr., struck crossing the street after a party. No arrests. Case cold. My hands shook as I read it. The timing fit. Matt graduated that month. Then I remembered Tina's ex-post. 10 years since UMich crew fell apart. Thinking of you, Sarah. 10 years from 2013. It's her. I cross-checked the yearbook. Sarah Klein, same girl in the photo with Matt. Smiling, alive. Now dead. And Matt's group chat is freaking out about it. Friday night. Matt came home late again, Said he'd been with a client. Yeah, right. I couldn't hold it in. Over dinner, I went for it. Matt, who's Sarah Klein? His fork clattered onto his plate. He stared at me, face pale, and said, "Where'd you hear that name?" I lied. "You've been muttering it in your sleep." "Who is she?" He swallowed hard, then said, "Just an old friend. From college." "What? She's dead, isn't she?" I blurted. His eyes widened, and he stood up, chair scraping. "Ella, what the hell? Why are you digging into this?" I snapped back. "Because you're hiding something. The group chat, the pact. Sarah, I know about the hit and run." It just spilled out. He looked like I'd slapped him. "Who told you that?" he demanded. I dodged. "Doesn't matter." "What happened, Matt? Did you kill her?" He flinched hard. "No. God, no. Ella, I didn't kill anyone." His voice cracked, and he sank back into the chair, head in his hands. "I didn't. I wasn't driving." I waited, barely breathing. Finally, he said, "It was an accident. Senior year. We were at a party. Me, Jake, Corey, Tina, Sarah. She left early, pissed off about something. We stayed. Later, we heard sirens. Found out she'd been hit crossing the street. The driver sped off. We didn't see it happen. Then why the pact?" I asked. He looked away. We saw the car. Not the driver, just the car, a black SUV. It clipped her and kept going. We were drunk, freaked out. Jake said if we told the cops, they'd blame us for not stopping her, for letting her walk alone. So we swore to keep quiet. Didn't think it'd matter. The guy got away anyway. I stared at him. "You let a killer walk free?" He winced. "We were kids, Ella. Stupid, scared kids. I've hated myself for it ever since." I asked why the group chat's blowing up now, and he said, "Tina found an old photo from that night. Started texting us, freaking out about the anniversary. It's been eating at me. I don't know what to feel. He's not cheating, thank God, but he hid this. A girl died, and he stayed silent. I asked if he's told the police since, and he shook his head. Cold case. No point now." I left the table, locked myself in the guest room, and cried. He knocked for an hour, begging me to talk, but I couldn't. Today, he's been quiet, hovering like he's scared I'll bolt. I love him, but this changes everything. He's not a murderer, but he's not innocent either. And why's Sarah in the chat if she's dead? Did he lie about that too? Update 4. The chat's a lie, and Matt's been hiding more. I'm back, and this keeps getting crazier. Thanks for the advice last time. Some of you nailed it, saying Matt might still be holding back. You were right. I dug deeper, and what I found has me questioning everything. I'm exhausted, but I need to vent and get your take. Buckle up, this is a roller coaster. After Matt's confession about the hit and run, I was a mess. I stayed in the guest room all weekend, barely talking to him. He kept trying, leaving notes under the door, cooking my favorite meals, but I couldn't face him. I kept replaying his words. We were kids. Scared. It didn't sit right. If it was just guilt, why the secrecy now? And Sarah's name in the chat. How's she texting if she's dead? Monday, I called in sick to work. My coworker, Jen, texted to check on me. She's noticed I've been off lately, and I brushed it off with just tired. But I wasn't resting. I had to know more. Matt was out meeting a client, again, sure, Jan. So I grabbed his phone from the kitchen counter. He'd left it behind. First time in weeks. The passcode was still changed, but I remembered him typing it during dinner last week, his mom's birthday. I got in. The old crew chat was active. I scrolled fast, snapping pics. New messages since I'd last peeked. Jake, she's pushing too hard. We need to shut this down. Tina, Matt, you said you'd handle it. What's the plan? Corey, I'm out if this blows up. I've got kids now. Sarah, he owes me. You all do. Tell her, or I will. Matt, I'm trying. Give me time. My blood ran cold. Tell her, or I will. Sarah's dead. Matt said so. Who's this? I kept scrolling, found an earlier thread from a month ago. Sarah, 10 years is long enough. I'm done waiting. Tina, you're not her. Stop this. Matt, I'll fix it. Just don't do anything stupid. Not her. I felt sick. Someone's impersonating Sarah. But why? I locked the phone, hands trembling, and waited for Matt to get home. He walked in at 6 p.m., looking wrecked, pale, bags under his eyes. I didn't waste time. Who's texting is Sarah? I asked, voice flat. He dropped his keys, staring at me. What? He stammered. I held up my phone with the screenshots. Don't lie, Matt. She's dead, right? So who's this? He sank onto the couch, head in his hands. Ella, I didn't want you to find out like this. Find out what? I snapped. He took a shaky breath. It's her sister, Lauren Klein, Sarah's younger sister. She found out about the accident a few years ago, tracked us down online. She's been harassing us. Wants us to confess publicly, go to the police. She's pissed we never did. I blinked. So she's pretending to be Sarah? He nodded. She got into Tina's old Facebook, stole photos, made a profile, joined the chat last month. It's her way of screwing with us. Why didn't you tell me? I yelled. He winced. I thought I could handle it. She's unhinged, Ella, threatening to ruin our lives. I didn't want you dragged into it. I asked why he didn't block her, and he said, she knows stuff. Where we live, work. She's emailed my boss before, anonymous crap about me being untrustworthy. I've been trying to calm her down. Then he dropped another bomb. I've been seeing a therapist about it. Since January. Didn't tell you because I was ashamed. I stared. Therapist. He nodded. The guilt's been killing me. Nightmares, panic attacks. I didn't want you to see me like that. I didn't know what to say. Part of me felt for him. Guilt's a beast, but he'd lied again. Hid therapy, hid Lauren. I asked if he'd ever planned to tell me, and he said, yes, after I fixed it. I swear. I grabbed my coat and left. Needed air? Walked for hours, crying, thinking. Yesterday, I called Ryan again. Told him everything. He sighed. Yeah, Lauren's been a ghost in our lives since Sarah died. She blames us all. Matt most. He was closest to Sarah. I asked if Matt's story checked out. No driving, just witnessing. Ryan said, as far as I know, yeah. But Lauren thinks we covered for the driver. No proof, though. Now I'm home, sleeping in the guest room again. Matt's a shell, barely eating, just sits there staring at nothing. I love him, but I'm furious. And scared. What if Lauren shows up? Update 5. Sarah's sister showed up, and we're trying counseling. And this week's been hell. Thanks for sticking with me. Your advice has been my anchor. Lauren, Sarah's sister, finally showed her face, and it was uglier than I imagined. Matt and I are in counseling now, but I don't know if it's enough. Here's what happened. After my last post, I told Matt we needed to talk, really talk. Wednesday night, we sat down. I laid it out. No more secrets. If we're doing this, marriage, us, you tell me everything. He nodded, eyes red. He admitted Lauren's been emailing him for 2 years, not just a month. Started with vague threats, escalated to the fake Sarah profile. He showed me the emails. Hundreds, some unhinged. You let her die. I'll make you pay. He'd been deleting them, hoping she'd stop. Why not tell me? I asked. He broke down. I didn't want you to hate me. I hate me enough. He talked about Sarah, how she'd been his best friend, how he'd loved her platonically, how her death gutted him. The therapy's been about that guilt, not just the pact. I listened, torn between pity and rage. Thursday, it hit the fan. I was at work, first day back after playing hooky. Jen, my co-worker, cornered me at lunch. Ella, you look like death. What's going on? I caved, told her the short version. Matt's passed, the chat, Lauren. She hugged me, said, you don't have to carry this alone. It felt good to tell someone IRL, but then my phone rang. Matt, Ella, get home. Now. His voice was shaking. I bolted. Found him in our apartment, door ajar, a woman standing in our living room. Thin, mid-20s, blonde hair, furious eyes. Lauren. She turned to me. You're Ella? The fiancé of this coward. Matt tried to step in. Lauren, leave her out of this. She cut him off, screaming, no. He doesn't get to hide behind you. She unloaded. Said she was 15 when Sarah died, idolized her sister. Found out about the hit-and-run years later from a college friend's drunk confession. Tracked down Matt and the crew, convinced they knew the driver and covered it up. They left her bleeding on the street, she yelled. Matt shouted back. We didn't. I told you, we didn't see the driver. I stepped in. Lauren, why fake Sarah's profile? Why torment him? She laughed, bitter. To make him feel it. Every day like I do. He's living his happy little life while she's gone. She pulled out a USB drive, slammed it on the table. That's everything. Emails, chats, proof you all lied. I'm giving it to the police unless you confess. Then she stormed out. Matt collapsed, sobbing. I picked up the USB, haven't looked yet, too scared. That night, we barely slept. Friday, I booked us a couples counselor, emergency session. First appointment was yesterday. The therapist, Dr. Patel, was calm, asked us to start with why we're here. Matt went first. I screwed up. Hid too much. I said, I love him, but I don't trust him. We talked about Sarah, the pact, Lauren. Dr. Patel suggested Matt see her solo too. He agreed. Today, Matt's a ghost, barely eats, stares at walls. Jen keeps texting, worried. I'm holding it together, but Lauren's threat looms. Update 6. We faced the truth, and I made my choice. This is it, the end of the road, I think. I can't thank you all enough for being here through this insanity. Your advice, your encouragement, it's what kept me going when I wanted to give up. Since my last post, everything's come to a head with Matt, Lauren, and this decade-old nightmare. We've got closure, sort of, but it's bittersweet, and there's a twist I didn't see coming. This is long, so settle in. I need to process it all, and I need your final thoughts. After Lauren's blow-up, that USB drive sat on our coffee table like a bomb. Matt and I barely spoke for 2 days. Him sulking in the bedroom, me pacing the apartment, jumping at every noise, expecting her to barge back in. Jen kept checking on me. I told her more at work Monday. She said, "Ella, you can't keep living like this. Look at that drive or burn it, but decide." She was right. Tuesday night, I told Matt, "We're plugging it in. Together. No more running." He nodded, pale but resolute. We hooked it to the laptop. It was a single folder labeled Sarah. Inside, screenshots of the old crew chat going back years, not just the recent stuff I'd seen, plus emails Lauren sent Matt, Jake, Tina, and Corey. Photos too, Sarah alive, laughing at parties, then crime scene pics from the hit and run, blurry and haunting. A text file titled Confession was the kicker. Lauren wrote, "They know who did it. Black SUV, license plate ending in 472. Matt saw it clearest. They lied to protect him." My stomach dropped. Matt whispered, "That's not true." I turned to him. "What's she mean? Protect him? You said you didn't know the driver." He swore again he didn't. We kept reading. Lauren claimed an old Mitch friend, Kay, told her years later the crew covered for someone. No proof, just her word. But those digits, 472, stuck in my head. Wednesday, we had our second counseling session with Dr. Patel. I brought the USB, showed her the file. She asked Matt, "Is there more you haven't said?" He broke down, sobbing. "I didn't see the plate. I was drunk. Ella, I barely saw the car. Jake said it was a bad idea to tell, and I listened." "That's it." Dr. Patel pushed. "Why not come clean later?" He said, "Fear. Shame." Then it was too late. I told her about Lauren's threats. She suggested we consider police, even now. Closure for us, maybe justice for Sarah. Thursday, Lauren escalated. I got home from work to find a note taped to our door. 48 hours, or I send it all to Ann Arbor PD. Matt was at therapy, solo session, so I called him, panicking. He rushed home, and we argued. I yelled, "We can't wait for her to ruin us. We go to the police first." He resisted. "They'll dig into me, Ella, my career, everything." I snapped, "You should have thought of that 10 years ago." He went quiet, then said, "Okay, we'll go." Friday morning, we walked into our local precinct. Felt surreal. Me in my work blazer, Matt clutching the USB like it'd bite him. We met Detective Ruiz, a tired guy with kind eyes. I explained. Cold case, hit and run, 2013, Sarah Klein. Showed him the drive. He listened, took notes, then said, "After 10 years, it's tough. No statute for fleeing the scene in Michigan if it's fatal, but evidence? Then, what's this plate number? 472. Matt shook his head. "I don't remember it." Lauren's guessing. Ruiz kept the drive, said he'd liaise with Ann Arbor PD, dig into it. Warned us. If your friends lied, they'll drag you in too. That night, Matt crashed hard, curled up on the couch, shaking. I sat with him, first time I'd touched him in days. He mumbled, "I'm sorry, Ella, for all of it." I didn't say anything, just held him. Saturday, Jen came over, brought wine. I told her everything. She hugged me, said, "You're stronger than you think." Then the twist hit. Sunday morning, my phone buzzed, an unknown number. I answered, and a woman's voice said, "Ella, it's Tina Esposito." My heart stopped. "How'd you get my number?" She said, "Matt gave it to me yesterday. I need to tell you something." I put her on speaker, Matt listening. She sounded wrecked. Lauren's half right. We didn't cover for the driver, but someone else saw more. Corey. He saw the plate, freaked out, begged us not to tell. Said it'd ruin him. What? Matt said. Tina kept going. Corey's brother-in-law owned that SUV. He was at the party, left early. Corey thought it was him. Same car, same night. Swore us to silence. I didn't know what to believe, but I went along. I asked, did he do it? Tina sighed. I don't know. Corey won't talk. Has kids now, a life. Lauren's digging got him paranoid. He's the one pushing Matt to handle it. Matt looked sick. Why didn't you tell me? Tina said, Corey threatened me. Said he'd lie. Pin it on us if I talked. I'm done, Matt. I told Ruiz today. Gave him Corey's name. His brother-in-law's. Kevin Patel. Plate ended in 472. Ann Arbor's pulling records now. She hung up. I sat there, stunned. Matt whispered, Kevin? He was quiet. Barely partied. I didn't think. We waited, numb. Monday, Ruiz called. They'd traced Kevin Patel. SUV registered to him in 2013, sold weeks after Sarah's death. No arrest yet. Kevin's MIA, but it's active again. Corey's been questioned. He cracked, admitted hiding it. Jake and Tina are cooperating. Matt's in the clear, witness, not suspect. Lauren texted me that night. You win. I'm done. I didn't reply. Yesterday, Matt and I sat down. He said, I'll do whatever you want. Police, therapy, anything. I love you. I looked at him, really looked. The man I fell for was still there, buried under guilt and lies, but there. I decided, we're staying together. Counseling's helping. He's opening up. I'm rebuilding trust. The wedding's on hold. Not canceled, just paused. I need time. Kevin's out there, maybe guilty, maybe not. Justice isn't mine to chase. Sarah's gone, Lauren's broken, Matt's a mess, but we're here. Update 7. It's over, for real this time. Hey Reddit. I wasn't sure I'd post again, but after everything, I owe you a proper ending. You've been my lifeline through this chaos. Your comments, DMs, even the tough love kept me sane when I thought I'd lose it. It's been a wild ride since my last update, and now, finally, it feels done. Matt and I have closure. The case has a resolution, and I've made peace with what's next. This is the last chapter. Long, because it's the end, but I promise it's worth it. After update 6, things moved fast. Matt and I were in limbo, together but fragile, leaning on counseling to patch the cracks. The police investigation into Kevin Patel was heating up, and Lauren's silence felt like a ticking clock. I was a mess, jumping between hope and dread, while Matt was barely holding it together, skinnier every day, eyes sunken. Jen kept me grounded. She'd drop by with coffee, listen to me ramble, and say, "You're tougher than this, Ella. Pick a lane." Last Wednesday, Detective Ruiz called. "We've got him," he said. Kevin Patel, Corey's brother-in-law, turned himself in. Ann Arbor PD tracked him to a suburb in Ohio after Tina's tip and Corey's confession broke the dam. Kevin admitted it. He'd been driving that night, May 12, 2013. Left the party drunk, clipped Sarah crossing the street, panicked, and fled. Sold the SUV a month later, thinking he'd dodged it. Statutes up for hit and run in Michigan unless it's fatal, then there's no limit. He's facing vehicular manslaughter, fleeing the scene, maybe more. Ruiz said Corey's testimony sealed it. Kevin's plate, ending in 472, matched an old traffic cam photo they'd overlooked. Matt lost it when I told him. We were in the kitchen. He dropped his mug, coffee splashing everywhere, and just crumpled. I'd never seen him cry like that. Raw, guttural sobs. "She didn't have to die," he kept saying. I held him, my own tears falling, but I didn't know what to feel. Relief? Anger? It was justice, but 10 years too late. Thursday, Lauren showed up again, unannounced, knocking like she owned the place. Matt let her in. I braced myself. She looked different, calmer, but hollow. "I heard," she said, voice flat. "Kevin's locked up." I nodded. She sat, staring at her hands. "I thought it'd feel better." "It doesn't," Matt said. "I'm sorry, Lauren, for everything." She looked at him, eyes wet. "You should have told me back then. I was her sister." He nodded, no defense left. I asked why she tormented us. She said, "I needed someone to hurt like I did. You were happy. Sarah wasn't." It hit hard. She wasn't wrong. She stood, handed me a photo. Sarah, maybe 20, laughing in a park. "Keep it," she said. "I'm done fighting." Then she left. I haven't heard from her since. Friday, we had counseling with Dr. Patel. Matt went first. I feel free, but empty. Kevin's caught, but I still let her down. I said, "I'm proud we got here, but I'm tired of secrets, of fear." Dr. Patel asked what we wanted. Matt looked at me. "You. Us. If you'll have me." I didn't answer right away, needed to think. Over the weekend, I took a solo trip, drove 2 hours to a lake cabin my parents own. No Matt, no Jen, just me and the water. I sat on the dock, Sarah's photo in my lap, and let it all out, screamed, cried, threw rocks into the lake until my arm ached. I thought about Matt, the guy who planned picnics, who held me through my dad's cancer scare, who hid this nightmare because he couldn't face himself. I thought about Sarah, Lauren, the crew, lives tangled in one stupid night. Sunday, I called Jen from the cabin. "Am I crazy to stay?" I asked. She laughed. "No. You're crazy to think love's clean. He messed up, big, but he's trying." Is that enough? I hung up, stared at the lake, and decided, yes, it's enough. Not perfect, not easy, but enough. Monday I got home. Matt was on the couch, sketching. First time I'd seen him draw in weeks. He looked up, nervous. I sat next to him, took his hand, and said, "We're okay. Wedding's back on. Small, soon, no drama. But no more lies, Matt. Ever." He hugged me so tight I couldn't breathe, whispering, "Never again." Yesterday, Ruiz updated us. Kevin's pleading guilty, trial's off, sentencing's next month. Corey's a wreck, cut ties with the crew. Jake and Tina sent Matt emails, apologies, regrets, but he didn't reply. The old crew chat's dead, he left it. I kept Sarah's photo, put it in a drawer, not out of sight, but not haunting us either. Today, I'm at work. Jen's planning a girls' night. Matt's cooking dinner tonight. It's mundane, Normal, and I love it. We're not the same, scarred, wiser, but we're us. I don't know if Kevin's punishment heals anything, or if Lauren's okay, but I've let go of needing to fix it all. Sarah's at peace, I hope.